by talking with my guy, Vince Wilfork. What a career he had, by the way. Just unbelievable. Two-time Super Bowl champ, nose tackle with the Patriots. He was on that ridiculous team for Miami, the U, national champ in 2001. And now I'm very jealous of him because he's got this unbelievable deal with Kingsford. I watched the video this morning. It is hilarious. He's teaching Jason Kelce how to slow down, how to create memories around the grill. I don't know if Kelce was really trying to dance or it was like fake dancing, but boy, there's a lot of stereotypes we could put out there right now with Vince's dancing compared to Kelce's dancing in the video. You got to check it out on their social media handles. They both posted it this morning. Vince, it's Ross Tucker, man. Good to see you. How are you?
What's going on, brother? Good to see you.
Man, so where are you right now? What are you doing? How are you occupying most of your time?
Man, what I'm doing right now, I'm so excited to partner up with Kingsford and Jason Kelce. And we basically, as a retired football player, it's no better way to introduce him to retirement life than with Kingsford Charcoal and teaching him how to grill low and slow, baby. That smoke, that wood burning, when you smell it, it just brings wonders to your ears. So that's what I've been up to, hanging out with my buddy Kingsford and Jason Kelce, just teaching them the ropes, brother.
I love it. I love it, Vince. I don't remember ever asking you this. I wasn't in New England very long, the end of 05 and then 06 till I got traded to Cleveland during training camp with you guys. But what did you really weigh, Vince, for most of your career?
In game time, I'll be anywhere from 345 to 350.
Okay, that's what I
Game
thought.
time. I was like a fighter, to get around, they make weight and then they put it back on. And that's how I was through the week. I'll make my weight at 325, but when it's time to get going, I'm about 345, 50, and I'm rolling.
Wait, hold on a second. You were still making your weight, though? So you telling me you would fluctuate 20 pounds a week?
Yeah, easy. Easy.
How did you get down to 25 for the weigh-in?
It worked. I used to start preparing for weigh-ins on Mondays, after the game, because it was easier for me to take it low and slow, just like barbecue, low and slow, baby. Because I knew Thursday was weigh-in day. So I always wanted to make sure that I was ready for weigh-in days. And then, like I say, once weigh-in days hit, now I'm gearing up for my fight, on Sunday. So I got to put it back on and make sure I feel good and all that. And it worked. 13-year career worked wonderful for me. Injuries. I've had one major injury. That was my Achilles, and that was it. But health-wise, I was always healthy. I was always in shape. But it's different from everybody. A 20-pound swing might be different than anybody else. But for me, it wasn't an issue for me.
So Vince, you weren't a fine guy? Like you were never over the weight and had to pay it? Because I played with a lot of guys that paid hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I told you I made my weight every week. I made my weight. When it was time to weigh in, I made my weight. On Thursdays, I made my weight. So I never got fined.
That is incredible. A 20 to 25-pound fluctuation each week. You know what's funny about you, Vince? And I tell people this all the time about Seymour as well. I don't think people really appreciate just how talented and how good you guys were because of the scheme that you were asked to play in. I tell people all the time, I honestly think, Vince, and you can speak to this, I think Seymour's the best D lineman I ever went against. He was unbelievable, but because the way you guys had the two gap, you weren't really able to rack up those stats. People didn't realize it. I think, Vince, you could have been, like if you played down in Tampa and switched with Sapp, or even if you were playing nose like Booger, you could have put up some crazy numbers if you were allowed to just hit the A gap or B gap.
Well, that's the thing. In college, I was a one gap. I had the stats and I had all the stuff that you possibly wanted. I was drafted. My high school, college, I was one gap. We was hitting and getting cover two down in Miami, and man, we hitting and get it, 4-man rush. So it ain't like I didn't have it, but I was a team player. So when Bill drafted me to New England, said, "Hey, you're gonna be a nose tackle," I had to learn what that was because I wasn't used to slowing my game down and doing this. So I had to learn. People don't understand. I had to learn nose tackle when I became a rookie. I wasn't a nose tackle. And speaking of, Seymour, and let me tell you, Seymour, Ty Warren, myself, Jarvis Green. We didn't realize how good we were when we played because we would just train just warriors. We would go and we would play and we didn't think twice about it because we love the game. But when we retire and we kind of sit back and watch what we did, it's not a lot of people can say they had three with a fourth guy coming off the bench that can run a defense up front like we did. And you have to realize Seymour, first rounder, Jarvis Green, second rounder. Ty Warren, first rounder. Me, first rounder. So Bill built this defense off of his front seven, which was us four, and we was all first rounders, and we all brought him championships. Seymour brought him one, Ty brought him one, and I brought him on my rookie season. So if you want a recipe to success, just follow that one.
Not only that, speaking of recipes, by the way, but not only that, the outside linebackers were William McGinnis and Vrabel just annihilating tight ends, just absolutely abusing those guys. I'm talking with my guy, Vince Wilfork, who we know it's summer grilling season. You got to check out the video on social media of him teaming up with Jason. He's handing him the tongs. Jason gets very excited. It's funny, Vince. I'm actually, as soon as the show's over, driving down to Kelsey's charity event for Eagles Autism Foundation down in Seattle City at the Jersey Shore. So the timing of this could not possibly be any better. For the people that don't know, Vince, explain the difference between being a gap penetrator like you were in college versus being able to, and having to two gap like you did in New England. I mean, I can explain it, but you could probably do it better than me.
One gap, you got one gap, and when I was in college, we had our one gap, and that's what we was responsible of. And we was playing the run on the way to the quarterback. So I didn't have no responsibilities in college, but to get to the quarterback and just stay in my gap. Now, when I got to the NFL, New England Patriots drafted me and they turned me into a nose tackle. So now that one gap turns into two gaps I have responsibilities for. And with me being, head up on the center, I had both from the left side of the center and the right side. Those were my gaps. And I couldn't go anywhere fast, so I had to read and react. So everything I had to do, I had to mimic the blocking scheme in front of me. So everything I was taught in college, it was opposite. So in college, read and react, I'm gone. In pros, I hit and I have to react after what I get, but I have to stay on those blocks because I have to keep the guys behind me nice and clean. So my stats, if you go back and look at my stats in college from the tackles for losses and the sacks, I had the statistics in college, but when you go to the NFL, you'll see how my stats break down. But I would tell people, look at the production of the people around me. I had Pro Bowl next to me. I had Pro Bowl outside of them. I had a Pro Bowl in back of me. So all of that stuff was credited. If you in a 34 defense, if that triangle, which is the nose tackle and your two inside backers, if they're not good, your defense won't be any good. And we were pretty solid. So
and
that's the difference.
And for a bunch of those years, Vince, one of those two inside linebackers was Jerod Mayo. He's the head coach now of the Patriots. What's that like for you to see your guy Mayo, who's younger than you and you play with, is now taking over for Bill?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for him because I think he has what it takes. He's going to be a young coach, and I mean he's following Bill's footsteps. So I mean, Bill set the standard for for the NFL, for coaching in general. So he's stepping in a role that's going to be tough to fill, but I think over time he'll be successful because I think he has what it takes to be a great head coach, and he can relate to the players. I think he can get through to the players better than Bill can at this point in his career.
Highly encourage everyone to go to kingsford.com, especially if you're not on social media. You can check out the video with Vince passing the tongs to Jason Kelsey. I watched it a couple times this morning. It was awesome. Vince, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Man, thank you for having me, buddy. You have a good one now.
All right, there he is, Vince Wilfork, two-time Super Bowl champ nose tackle with the Patriots.